What's up, YouTube? My name's Clark. I'm an artist. This is another video with my double grid painting. So I've reached a new point here where I've finished pulling up the tape from the last video, and we can see the first diamond pattern in the primary colors. So this is where I get to a mental debate of, do I want to leave this painting how it is? This certainly is enough at some level. I could certainly stop here and call this good and call it finished, but my desire is to take it further. And this is something I've talked about before. In painting, we get to these points where it's like, do we want it to be al dente, just slightly underdone and slightly unfinished, and there's kind of a sweet spot in there? Or do I want to keep working it and risk it becoming overcooked? But I always feel like when I do get to this point, if there are things that I want to explore further in the work, that I'm going to go ahead and just do that, because I can always do this all over again and stop at this point. But if I don't go further, how am I going to find out what happens next or what it looks like? The series is Into the Blue, which is all about embracing the unknown, as I've covered before with this particular piece. The new unknown that we're exploring here is with having this double grid. So I've got this gray orthogonal grid and this primary color diamond pattern connected to this grid. And then in the background, I have the black orthogonal grid, which is aligned with the sides of the piece. And I would like to next do this same diamond pattern, but connected to that black grid. I run the risk of this becoming too busy and hard to look at. You might argue that it's already there. There's a lot to pick apart here, a lot of connections that you can make, but where I'd like to go with this, if we find the center, my next diamond pattern is going to be rotated 30 degrees off of this current diamond pattern, and I'm going to do the secondary colors. This is completely uniform, and I could do the same for the next pattern and have it expand over the whole field in a completely uniform way all the way to the edges, but I would like some variation. So now that I see this result and I think about that and what's coming next, for my next diamond pattern, I'm going to go 2 out from the center. So it'll end about here and here. And that will be the diameter of the radial pattern that I'm doing. The way that you can see sort of these edges kind of creating a hexagon is the way that that diamond pattern will create a flower in the center of the current pattern. What that'll allow for is some of this field to remain as just the primary colors, and there will be sort of a transition into the center. This will bring your eye into the center point. These 2 side lengths, I believe, are 32 inches. The rest of the side lengths are 24. Obviously, it's elongated and horizontal. So by keeping the center pattern symmetrical and radial, that extra space will again leave an opening for the primary color pattern to stand alone. As I talked about before, one of the discoveries that I made in doing this pattern was that these ended up having a 5-inch side length and not a 4-inch, because I had not anticipated the scale change that resulted from rotating that pattern. So this second diamond pattern is going to be slightly tighter. You'll notice this gray access will actually be off-centered. This will be the end of that diamond, or the outside point, the center being here and the center of our painting here. So I imagine that once I get the pattern taped, we're going to see some new relationships that we can't see. And even for me, it's difficult to visualize what exactly is going to happen with that pattern and how it relates and overlays with the current pattern. And there again is why I'm totally willing to run the risk of overcooking the painting, overdoing it, because again, I want to find out. And if I just stop here, I'll never know. But we could certainly argue that this is a satisfactory result. You know, I'm into it. I hope you're into it. And we'll find out what happens next. So thank you for joining me. At the end of my last video, I mentioned that I hadn't got any likes yet, and that wasn't true. So thank you to my subscribers and everybody that's liked the video so far. I hope these have been insightful and that you're enjoying taking this journey with me as much as I'm enjoying presenting it to you. So have a blessed day, and, you know, make your own. Adios.